Thank you, James. Chicago and Vancouver usually bring out the best in each other, both looking to be better tonight. It's the rubber match of a 3-game season series between the Blackhawks and the Canucks at Ringside. Ray Ferraro.
CC, the Blackhawks lead the NHL in goals for about 3.5 per game. The Canucks are 22nd. The other night they had Jordan Schrader back in the lineup. He's had a miserable year, injured a couple of times. He scores a couple of lucky goals in his first game back against Phoenix. They're looking for offense anywhere. Schrader got a couple. They elevate him in the lineup tonight and hope he can give him a pop here against the Blackhawks.
Ryan Kesler will start for the Canucks along with Chris Higgins and Jannik Hansen against the top line of the Blackhawks. Jonathan Toews with Patrick Sharp and Marian Hossa. Corey Crawford against Roberto Luongo. In this third meeting, 5 of the last 7 between these two teams have gone beyond 60 minutes. And right away, Chris Higgins scores 16 seconds in.
Really aggressive by the Canucks off the opening faceoff. Terribly sluggish by the Blackhawks. Watch Jannik Hansen get in onto Duncan Keith. He creates the play by getting in with his speed onto Keith. Seabrook can't clear the puck because it's a terrific pinch by the much criticized Alex Edler on the sideboards. Edler takes the puck and keeps it alive. Kessler's backhand gets to Higgins, who doesn't stay on the sideboards. He gets to the front of the net, and Chris, the Canucks' best, most consistent forward all season, gives him that early lead.
Chris Higgins, who has the most points for Vancouver in the month of January, and offside at the line and a shot after the whistle from Ben Smith. Higgins with the goal, his 15th of the year from Kesler and Edler.
What a strong play by Edler, aggressively up on Hossa. There's nowhere for Hossa to go with the puck, and you see as Higgins had completed his check on Seabrook, he gets to the front of the net before Seabrook can get up and challenge him to the net. Corey Crawford doesn't get the wickets closed, and Chicago trails early again. This has become a recurring theme for them.
So the Canucks score against Chicago's top line, and Joel Quenneville now counters with his 4th line, which has been his best line of late. That's Johnny Aduya at the point, along with Chalmerson, one of the Olympic-bound players for Chicago. Shot, and that was deflected en route. Don't think Luongo was tracking it, and it went wide. There's Schrader working in the corner, pushed ahead to Daniel Sedin. He is held along the boards by Bullock, and Kruger plays it back to his defenseman. They'll get a change. Chalmerson back in, and that shot, a knuckler off the crossbar. And again, I don't think Roberto Luongo picked it up.
Man, Luongo's had some adventures in goal here in the last 3 games in Vancouver. Chalmerson's the only Blackhawk on the ice as they're changing. You see the puck knuckle off his stick, hit the defenseman Weber's stick, and it beats Luongo up over the shoulder and hits the crossbar and falls into the crease.
Well, it's been an eventful 72 seconds. We had a good one last night in Calgary. Flames beating the Blackhawks in overtime. Chicago now with 4 consecutive losses. Brandon Peary's in. Here's Versteeg on the backhand. That's stopped on the short side by Luongo. Moving up is Nick Leddy. And there's Kevin Bieksa, who will be paired tonight along with Hamhuis in the absence of the injured Chris Tanev. Here's David Booth in, and the backhand off a stick goes wide. Brad Richardson along the boards. Booth unable to come up with it. It'll be knifed back in, though, by Hamhuis, and Patrick Kane will play it back to Sheldon Brookbank. The former Humboldt Bronco draws into the lineup in place of Michael Roosevelt tonight. Good pass ahead to Handzus, another Chicago change this evening. He takes the spot of Brian Bickle. Handzus knocked down, it gets past Aduya. Hawks kept it in momentarily, and now out comes Vancouver. A pass for Dalpe doesn't work, and turning back is Andrew Shaw. He'll send it in, and Brandon Saad is after it. Garrison fires it around for Vancouver. It'll be held in by Chalmerson. Deep for Shaw, plays it into Saad's corner, and the Chicago Blackhawks will go to work. Big Handzus playing in game number 988. Tried to center, Sestito will send it to the right wing, and Dale Weiss gets the red line, sends it in, and gets a change for the Canucks. One shot apiece and that crossbar. Here's Ben Smith trying to dash past Bieksa and unable to find any room on the short side. A stick came up and caught Higgins, undetected by the officials. And Higgins checks for some damage as play continues. Brent Seabrook, the Richmond BC product, starts the play. It'll be flicked in by Kruger. Dan Hamhuis fires it around. Seabrook awaits. Across for Keith. 2 and 7 on the back line for Chicago. And the goal scorer Higgins sends it down the ice. That pass cut off, intended for Hansen, who was lurking at the Chicago line. Bouncing in on Luongo, and he will hold on. Tonight's Game Plan Ray brought to you by Tim Hortons, the official coffee of the NHL.
Well, for Chicago, it's a little late for 60 minutes and 4 lines as they doze on the first shift and they're down 1-0. But consistency shift to shift has really been a problem for Joel Quenneville's team. And for the Canucks, their top-end players have to be that. They've not been lately. The goals have been almost impossible to come by, and perhaps headlined by Daniel Sedin's struggles.
Both teams with only 4 wins in the month of January. Almost identical records this month. Here's Taves. Chalmerson moved up, but checked by Jordan Strader, who had those 2 goals in the game against Edmonton in his return to the lineup after a long stretch out. Finds Daniel Sedin back to Strader, reflecting it wide as Aduya was watching him. Strader with that speed. Now Daniel from a bad angle. That one hopped up near the top of the net. In behind is Burrows, trying to bump a lengthy slump of his own along the boards. Edler sends it to the net. Daniel missed the tip in front. Schrader on it again quickly. He's had jump in the opening 5 minutes of this game, and now Patrick Sharp comes back. Recredited with a goal last night that was changed to Hossa, who gets the shot on goal. So both Hossa and Sharp with goals last night in the loss against Calgary.
If you're the 22nd ranked offense, you've got to have a lot of guys struggling to score. Look at the very top end of the Canucks lineup. Burrows with nothing in this season, 22 games. David Booth's been in and out of the lineup. Daniel's in a ditch that he can't seem to get out of. Hansen's still on a 15 or 16 goal pace, but Ryan Kessler 1 goal in 10 games. They rely a lot on a very few players, and if your top-end guys struggle, you're not going to get much done offensively. Their margin for error is almost none.
A couple of low-scoring games between these two teams. Here's Kessler moving in, a shot, but he whistled that high and wide of the net, and now Keane will take over. Up ahead for Versteeg. Duncan Keith jumps up. Keith fires it wide of the net. It'll ricochet to Seabrook. Keith returns to his left defensive position as Bieksa tries to move it ahead. That's knocked down. Cross-ice pass. Keane with room. And a hot shot gloved by Luongo. Versteeg had the rebound. Seabrook across to the former Penn Sixton Panther. That's Duncan Keith sidestepping a hit. He takes a shot, and that's up high, and that takes a bite out of Luongo, and he's shaken up. Roberto Luongo in some difficulty, and play halted after that hot shot from Duncan Keith.
Well, Keith hops by Ryan Kessler at the blue line, and it's a rather sharp angled shot that catches Luongo on the side. It looks almost like it gets to the outside of where his chest protector is, and you see immediately he goes down to his knees. It catches him almost up by the armpit, where the chest protector and the arm part would join together.
Up around the collarbone, maybe?
I think just even a little bit lower than that, and you can see immediately in discomfort, and everything's still attached, and Luongo will remain in the game.
30th game for Roberto Luongo against the Chicago Blackhawks in his career. 15-10-3, and a save percentage of .930 against the Hawks. So the face-off outside the Vancouver line, just past the 5-minute mark. Chicago has outshot Vancouver 6-2, but the Canucks got the icebreaker early from Chris Higgins.
Well, that start was just what the doctor ordered for the Canucks, where they kicked away a couple of points against Edmonton. Both teams coming in on off of 5-goal performances, and then the Oilers outscore Vancouver Vancouver kicks away those points where they feel like they have to have them. Everything is so tight.
Right now, the Canucks, the 8th seed in the Western Conference. And with the 1 point last night, Chicago lost the lead in the Central Division. Here's Richardson, a pass across, and that just didn't reach the intended target on a possible 2-on-1 as Yannick Weber was up. Here's Leddy. He'll step into the corner, play it behind the net, trying to connect with Saad, and it deflects out of play.
Chris, you mentioned earlier that the Chicago Blackhawks' best line last night was that fourth line group with Ben Smith, Kruger, and Bollig, but it's been this top line that's really carried them. Taves, Sharp, and Marian Hossa. Hossa had a goal last night. A short-handed effort, his third of the year. This line has just been absolutely terrific for them since they were put together in November.
There's a good lead pass for Hansen and then cut off as Keith recovered nicely. Here's Seabrook trying to get up the boards, and Higgins cut that off. Quick pass by Keith, and now it's Taves trying to spring the speedy. Hossa, he's in! Marian Hossa! And that one stayed out somehow off the post and maybe the back skate of Roberto Luongo. Close call as Hossa shows you he's still got the wheels at 35 years of age. Hansen with the touch pass, and now sent ahead past Kessler. Canucks are changing as Keith plays it to Seabrook. Good pass ahead. Bollig, long shot, turned aside by Luongo. After it on the near boards, Ben Smith, who scored last night against the Flames. Loose for Kruger. Can't pull the trigger. And it pops out. And now Burrows has a break. Had a step. Daniel Sedin into the middle and out of the reach of Schrader on that quick break. And now the Hawks might have something going. That pass out of the reach of Ben Smith. Bieksa stepped up on Hjalmarsson, and you can hear the reaction. Now Hamhuis one-hands it away from Smith, and Burrows takes over.
Bollig has been chasing Bieksa around for the last 5 or 7 seconds here after that solid Bieksa hit up in the neutral zone on Hjalmarsson.
So it's heating up as it usually does when Vancouver plays Chicago. Versteeg sends it to Brandon Peary's on it. Second game since his recall. Tried to center, comes back to Brookbank. Cross Leddy, fakes and now fires it, and that one got a piece of, is that Daniel Sedin, and ricochets out of play. Still 1-0 Vancouver on an early goal by Chris Higgins.
Marian Hossa picked up his 22nd goal of the season last night. Takes the cross-ice feed from Jonathan Taves. Edler's got to do a better job of reading this cross-ice pass as Hossa bangs it off the goalpost. When that puck goes across the ice, if he can't intercept it, he's got to bail. You can't let him get to the outside so quickly and so easily. And Hossa uses his speed, then protects the puck and gets it around Luongo, but not across the goalpost.
Luongo's had some help from his friends in the first period. A crossbar by Hjalmarsson, the post from Hossa. And it remains 1-0 Vancouver. Puck got past Daniel Sedin, played back in. Versteeg behind the Vancouver net. Brandon Peary trying to sidestep a check, and he gets leveled. Back for Hjalmarsson. Here's his shot, and there's another shot block for Daniel, who had one off the outside of his skate just prior to the last break. Hjalmarsson flipped it through center. It gets past Booth. Here comes Kane. Patrick Kane in. Does a little button hook there and gets it back for Hjalmarsson. Into the corner where Hamhuis lost his footing. Played it ahead along the boards. Versteeg looks for it. Hjalmarsson holds it in. And now Booth will clear it past him and out to center. Still the Canucks with only 2 shots as we approach 9 minutes. And the first hit the back of the net at 16 seconds. Duncan Keith getting things organized into the skates of Hossa. And sent back to the Chicago line, where 2 and 7 will get reorganized.
Vancouver trying to get Kessler out against Taves as much as they can.
Hossa, Keith, shot, Rebound, loose in front, and Luongo smothering it in the blue paint.
Jason Garrison stops this first one, and when the point shot from Keith ricochets off of Garrison's stick, it lands right back on the stick of Patrick Sharp, very similar to the goal Sharp scored last night. There's the stop by Garrison, and you see it get right back to Sharp. And that's Sharp and Hossa again. Chris, that's almost identical to the play last night that caused all that confusion as to who scored the Blackhawks goal, whether it was Sharp, whether it was Hossa. Eventually, it ended up as Patrick Sharp's.
Awarded to Sharp initially, changed to Hossa. After the game, there was a lengthy debate about almost the simultaneous hit of the puck with two sticks, and they do give the goal to Sharp, and he has 27 on the year. Big Zach Kassian gives it away, and the Hawks will move back into their own zone. Brookbank in some difficulty there as Brad Richardson comes up with the puck. Good forecheck by Richardson. Weber's shot, and that whistles wide. There's Stanton playing it in front of the net. The former Blackhawk with a dangerous play to get that puck through. A waiver pickup by Vancouver after spending time with Chicago in their cup run last year.
The Canucks have gotten a lot of mileage out of three real under-the-radar pickups, and Stanton is one of them. Richardson's another. Mike Santorelli's the third. They didn't pay very much money for either of those three players, and they've given them all better than expected results.
Of course, Santorelli out of the lineup along with Henrik Sedin. And as we mentioned, Chris Tanev, puck is centered, comes back to Seabrook. Now Keith, 44 assists on the year. That's topped among NHL defensemen. It's Seabrook walking in, incoming, and that shot off a skate. Ricochets in front, Hossa collects. Good zone time for the top line of Chicago since that early goal by Vancouver. But so far, Chicago has not found a way to beat Roberto Luongo in this opening period. 8 stops and a couple off the pipe. And it remains 1-0 Vancouver. Mention the injury on the Canuck defense. With more, here's Blake Price.
Guys, with the Canucks still trying to get over the loss of forward centers Henrik Sedin and Mike Santorelli, there was some relief at last that the defense core was intact for at least a few games, but that's exactly how long it lasted. Just a few games with Chris Tanev missing practice in the game day skate. There's now suspicion that he'll be gone for a long period of time. In fact, his agent went on record today saying that the Olympic break was timed quite perfectly for Chris Tanev, leaving some to believe it'll take at least till after Sochi to get him back.
Break for the Canucks again. It's been one after another. And now Tanev out. Versteeg back, and that one gets by Johnny Aduya and deep into the Chicago zone. Handed off by Crawford, who came in relief last night for Antti Ranta. Chased for the net by the Calgary Flames. Chicago won here 2-1 early this year, and then a 3-2 shootout victory in the rematch December 20th in Chicago, game in which the Canucks battled back from 2-0 down to tie it and win it on a Ryan Kessler shootout decider. Here's Keith over the line, fires it right on, and Luongo holds on. The NHL on TSN is brought to you by Chevrolet. Find new roads.
Been an interesting stretch for the Canadian Olympic goaltenders. Against Phoenix, it was a game of dodgeball. Luongo and Mike Smith both really struggled in that same night. Carey Price was pulled in Montreal. Luongo in his third straight start here at home, all in the last 4 days.
Here's Kassian scampering in, a shot from Stanton, traffic in front. And Richardson whacking away, stick bus, and out comes Chicago. Richardson to the bench for a new cue as Hossa down the right side. Trying to get it across, that pass prevented by David Booth. Brandon Saad goes down, and Kassian on him as you handle all the debris coming off the ice.
Yeah, the referee just went to hand the stick into the bench, and he speared me right in the chest with it.
Thought it was the Olympic torch relay there. And
So that's you may have heard me say thanks. That's all right. No problem.
the last time we were here, there was coffee spilled and incoming
Oh, we're all
sticks
good.
once again.
All good. Oh, you think the play's the biggest danger, not a broken stick.
Canucks still stuck on 2 shots on goal here. Just under 8 minutes remaining, first period. A heavy hit by Edler on Smith. Kruger battles in the corner. It comes back to the point. Seabrook a shot. And Bollig a rebound. And a huge stop there. Luongo on Brandon Bollig. First the deflection and the rebound save even better. Back in Seabrook. His shot wired high and wide, and it will boomerang back into Chicago ice.
No matter how many times you play at home, when you come back home, you get a little jump to your game. And Brent Seabrook, who is from the Vancouver area, has been really active here in the first 13 minutes.
The former Delta Ice Hawk. And the Hawks stymied by Luongo right now in this opening period.
Luongo hasn't had many clean looks. Everything seems to be hitting something or changing direction. The Seabrook shot here gets deflected a couple times, and then Bollig gets to the rebound. It's a rolling puck, tipped once, and then by Bollig a second time. Luongo stops that, then the rebound to keep the game at 1-0.
The line that set the pace from the opening puck drop is out. Hansen, Kessler, Higgins up against Taves, Sharp, and Hossa. Marian Hossa, nifty pass. Here's Taves without a goal in his last 7. Sends it to the net off the blocker of Luongo. Right out to Hansen. It's a 2-on-1 and broken up by Chalmerson. Oduya's going to get a penalty after the fine play by Chalmerson with the Canuck loose on the 2-on-1.
Oduya doesn't think that he hooked anybody here. As often is the case, the perpetrator doesn't think he's done anything wrong. The Hawks are trying to get a 4th man up into the attack, and so when Taves shoots the puck, Oduya gets caught. Hansen goes down pretty easy, but the stick here goes through the hands and almost corkscrews the stick away from the body, and so Vancouver, their rather dreadful power play, 29th in the National Hockey League, gets the game's first chance. Chris, they've had 2 shots on their last 6 power plays.
0 for their last 15, 2 for 36 in the last 10 games against a penalty kill that's 16 of its last 16 for Chicago. But then again, the Hawks have struggled most of the year. They're just turning around their penalty kill that's ranked 27th.
Hossa scored a shorthanded goal last night, his 3rd, and really the special teams are pretty interesting. When you look at the Blackhawks, they have that great power play. They've scored 38 power play goals this year, but they've given up 34. They're only +4 special teams, and the Canucks power play so bad, 24 power play goals, they've only given up 25. They're only -1 on the deal, so when you put them all together, the special teams aren't that much better for Chicago than they are for Vancouver.
Of course, the Hawks are +35, 5-on-5.
Well, there is a difference there.
30 seconds gone in the penalty to Oduya. Here's Kessler firing it in out of the reach of Crawford. Alex Burrows is up there along with Daniel Sedin. Back to Edler. Watched by Taves in the middle for Weber. And now Kessler fires it. That's blocked by Chalmerson. Hossa can't clear it. Off Kessler, back to Weber. Ryan Kessler. Corner for Daniel. Chalmerson on him. Kessler now battles with Chalmerson. Seabrook into the fray. He's upended. Penalty upcoming. And that's going to do it for the Vancouver power play. As Weber back to touch. 52 seconds left in the Oduya minor. And then Chicago will have a power play as Alex Burrows gets the game.
Vancouver number 14, 2 minutes for stripping.
And the first couple of seconds, always after a puck is turned over, the danger time for a player. The puck goes behind the net. You see Burrows get his stick into the feet of Seabrook. It's just a reaction. You're trying to turn to get to the puck. It's a penalty that negates their power play, and now we got a little 4-on-4. And the Blackhawks will get a power play at the end of this.
Remains a mystery to me, Ray, why Chicago is so poor 4-on-4. They've been outscored 6-4. And again, they've gone into 18 overtime games this year without any goals in overtime in those 5-minute sessions.
Not just a mystery to you. Joel Quenneville said this is just something that should be much better for us.
There's Brookbank, shot from long range, easily handled by Luongo. Now the puck is out, and Chicago will regroup with Versteeg to Leddy and Brookbank. And they'll save the big boys for that power play time, which is upcoming. Leddy's in deep, trying to hook up with Versteeg. Versteeg, a centering pass, is intercepted by Hansen. And now out comes Bieksa. Kevin Bieksa rink wide. There's Brad Richardson dashing in. Puts on the brakes, looks for the late man. It's Higgins, shot right on, rebound is underneath Crawford. And Richardson fencing. Brookbank took down his man at the side of the net, and I believe that's Kessler who was leveled. Bieksa, excuse me.
Bieksa's down by the side of the net. Crawford was exchanging slashes with Richardson. Just the Canucks' third shot of the period, and it's a dangerous one here through the traffic, and then Bieksa's fishing away for the rebound. Brookbank tackles him, and then you see Crawford and Richardson get tied up in front of the Chicago goal. Oh, pretty good poke by Crawford, getting him away from the front.
So the Canucks now have their third shot of the period. But lead 1-0 with Chicago now on the power play. Just under a minute to work for the Blackhawks with the man advantage. 0 for 6 against the Canucks in the first two meetings. There's Keane in. 17 of his 25 goals on the road. That puck to the line, but it stays in. Patrick Kane with room. Holds on. Taves dropped his stick. He's retrieved it, got the puck. Back to the point. Sharp shot, and it's deflected over the net. Andrew Shaw's on this power play. He's the net front guy. As Vancouver sends it down. And a couple dozen seconds remaining in the penalty to Alex Burrows. Sharp leads them out. Now the captain to the line. Works around Bieksa. In deep and to the near side for Kane. Swings it to the point for Sharp, and the return pass. Kane watched by Hansen. And that pass broken up by Bieksa, and Hansen gonna work against Sharp. And that one rolled past Sharp in on Crawford. And a whistle sounds as the power play comes to an end. Jonathan Taves and the Blackhawks gave up an early goal, and they trail 1-0 late in the first.
A couple of games ago when the Canucks won in overtime, it was Kevin Bieksa. A lot of nights, Bieksa's the emotional compass for this team. When he's at his best, he's physical and he's involved at both ends of the ice. He plays with a certain swagger that you notice when he's onto his game. Team seems to feed off it. And when Bieksa's involved in this stuff, he seems to be more in tune with the way the game is played, and it's played the way he wants it to be played. The Canucks want to have more of an identity of being a tougher team to play against. Bieksa's one of those guys that can do that for them.
Up alongside Dan Hamhuis now. Here's a giveaway, and that shot flicked high by Zach Dalpe. On another Chicago giveaway. We saw lots of those last night in their own zone against Calgary. Stanton across. Yannick Weber rink wide. Cassie into the point. And the Stanton shot goes off Kruger wide. Now Booth unable to corral it, and Bollig will flip it out. The goal by Vancouver at the 16-second mark there. Fastest goal to start a game this season. Chris Higgins with the goal that has stood up so far in the opening frame. No icing here as Canucks start out with that good left wing feed for Daniel Sedin. Diagonal shoot in, and Burrows give chase. Chalmerson behind the net. Around off Kane, and Brandon Peary will set it up, and Kane heads north. Patrick Kane over the line, walking in, and the shot off Garrison's stick went wide. Peary And now Versteeg. Keith to Seabrook. Kane back. Keith with that slap pass. Peary rifled it wide. Pretty good spot for Brandon Peary. And he missed the target. Keith at the line, and it does come out off Schrader. And now Daniel Sedin around Keith. Here's Daniel. Takes a look. Kessler bad angle shot right on. Kessler again. Hansen behind the net. Daniel to the back door. Kessler shot. And a good stop there by Corey Crawford. Rebound collected by Hansen. It's centered in front. What a stop. Big save. Corey Crawford off Ryan Kessler. That's his best of the game. Now Sharp is turned around and Kessler. Rink wide again for Hansen. Best chance for Vancouver since that early goal. Taves back. Good move to the outside. Couldn't get the shot away. Zach Kassian at center. And good back pressure there from Patrick Sharp. Hjalmarsson up off Taves. And we're into the final minute of a good first period here in Vancouver. A little flurry by Vancouver. Now the shots are 13-7. 4 in the last minute or so. Centering pass. Booth shot knocked out. Rebound toe stop. Oh, what a stop that was by Crawford on a close-in chance for Brad Richardson. Corey Crawford keeping it a one-goal game. Jason Garrison. Canucks with a late push here. Under a half minute left. First period, Garrison wires it wide. It'll come back to the left point for Edler. Hjalmarsson knocked it away from Richardson. Garrison backhands to the corner and Duncan Keith looks ahead. Nearly sprung Andrew Shaw. Lead pass and Kassian back in. It'll be Oduya to take over and that will do it. But Corey Crawford with a couple of 10-bellers late in that first period.
After being a spectator for about 18 minutes, only facing 2 shots after that early goal, Corey Crawford had to be excellent here. This stop on Kessler coming to the front of the net was the first one, and this one here was even more difficult as he goes across, stretches out to get Richardson, and then Richardson and Keith in a little stick battle. They can't get the puck around the toe of Corey Crawford.
Shots 13-8 Chicago, but it's 1-0 Vancouver as we head back to James Duthie and the boys. Well, James, a night where they honored the Olympians going to Sochi, but a couple of Olympians from Vancouver and Team Canada caught your eye in the first period, Ray.
Yeah, there's the way the Blackhawks move the puck around on the back end really creates a real problem defensively. After the Hawks had a rather slumbering start, you started to see the mobility of the Blackhawks blue line take over. Duncan Keith darts around Ryan Kessler. He gets his chance on Luongo. Look how quickly they're able to move the puck up. This is early in the period when Vancouver didn't have much of a forecheck, but here is where the difficulty becomes defensively. Watch at the blue line. Seabrook and Keith exchange passes, and when Seabrook goes into the slot, that opens up this pass, Keith to Brandon Peary. Real difficult to defend, but communication helps keep a handle on a player like Duncan Keith.
So we start period number 2 with Joel Quenneville deploying his fourth line. Brandon Bollig had 4 of the 13 shots for the Hawks in the opening period.
Chris, when we were talking to Joel yesterday, it was pretty clear, wasn't it, how fond he is of this fourth line, of what he thinks they bring to the table every night for his Blackhawks.
Often will play against the top line of the opposing team. Right now they're up against Schrader, Sedin, and Burrows. And Jordan Schrader starts out. He'll flip it in past Hjalmarsson, and Burrows picks up the chase. Takes his man to the boards. Schrader tried to center it off the side of the net. And Oduya with an outlet that has intercepted Schrader. Just unable to handle that, but Stanton gets it back to him. Now Daniel, Burrows, return pass from Stanton, and a backhand that's knocked down by Johnny Oduya. An Olympian for Sweden headed to Sochi. He'll roll it in and get the opening change of this second period. Burrow's still out, and now he is edging his way to the bench as Weber fires it in, and the Kessler line's out. Ryan Kessler and Chris Higgins combining for 5 of the 8 Vancouver shots, and of course Higgins with a lone goal. Garrison right on, and Crawford holds on to that.
Of the players that have had trouble scoring for Vancouver, they've gotten almost nothing from their blue line, and Jason Garrison's got 1 goal in his last 23 games, none in his last 9. Garrison has got the heavy shot, yet for some reason they don't employ him a lot on the power play. Much of the power play has to go through Garrison's hands. When you struggle to score as they have, simplify it, get it back to the guy with the heaviest shot, and then try to cram the front of the net.
Duncan Keith to Brent Seabrook. It's knocked away from Hossa, but Seabrook charges ahead, leads the rush. Patrick Sharp right on, and Luongo's got that with Taves driving to the net. Another case of Seabrook leading that rush, right?
Yeah, jumping into the play at the blue line. There's a little bit of a turnover, and aggressively Seabrook jumps up here. He picks up the loose puck, and Sharp's going to be out in the weeds on the wing. Leads the Blackhawks with 215 shots. There's another one as he tests Luongo. Luongo makes the stop and is able to hold on to it, so there's no rebound.
Hawks had 9 different players with over 100 shots on the season. Here's David Booth. That pass broken up at the line. Quick counter here. Patrick Kane unable to catch up to it. Knocked away by Hamhuis. Cassian at center lofts it into Chicago ice. And Brookbank back to get it. Brandon Peary ahead. Knocked away from Kane. And they'll try it again. Peary into the Vancouver zone for Hamhuis. And again paired with Bieksa tonight. There's Bieksa. Up ahead, and David Booth will send it in and get a change for the Canucks. Nick Leddy surrounded by Richardson and Cassian. Kane in to help out. Knocked down by Richardson. To the point, Stanton shot, and that whistled wide. Weber moves up to try and knock it away from Versteeg. Versteeg having some difficulty there, lost it to Sestito, and Richardson a shot right on. Another good stop by Corey Crawford in close. Centering pass, Sestito scores! Tom Sestito, 2-0 Canucks.
Vancouver rarely gets anything from their 4th line. They get a huge goal here. Versteeg, who turned the puck over several times last night, burps this one up to Sestito, and as a result of the turnover, Chicago never gets back to solid defensive positioning, and Sestito, who started the play, gets right out between the circles. Brookbank is about a half a stride too low, and Tom Sestito, who suspended coach John Tortorella has said has made great strides this season. 1 times the pass home, and Vancouver's got a 2-0 lead.
Well, he's got his 5th of the year, a guy who scored over 40 one year in the Ontario Hockey League for the Plymouth Whalers. So the Canucks have a 2-goal lead as Sestito scores from Stanton and Kessler at 2:44. Talked about that 4th line for Chicago, but a 4th liner for Vancouver has expanded the Canucks lead. Now a giveaway, and Hansen's in. His shot off a leg. Higgins on this near side. Up against Aduya, an outlet, and Bolig will flip it out. Hamhuis with Chicago changing. Rushing in, dropped for Higgins. Back to Hamhuis. That's off the side of the net as he got in too deep. Trying to cycle it back, knocked down by Taves. Looks for Sharp. Breaking was Hossa, and the pass didn't arrive in time. Hamhuis, and a giveaway here, and a shot picked up. Sharp looks for the rebound. Centers, Keith, and Luongo down, Sharp, and that's off a stick out of play. Roberto Luongo continues to be sharp here tonight.
You see him shake his head as he got a little bit of a break as Sharp misses the empty net on the side, but it's a turnover by Hamhuis. that leads to the chance. The first one's a tough stop. It's this one here, though, on Keith, where Luongo has to find the puck behind Bieksa. He can't really see it. And as the puck is stopped, it's going to come to Sharp here. Sharp shoots it up over the net. Perhaps Hamhuis gets a stick on it, but Luongo, an excellent save on Duncan Keith.
16 stops so far for Luongo, and here's David Booth charging in. Backhand off Seabrook, stick wide. Booth behind the net, trying to come out in front. Unable to get the puck with him. Cassian works the end boards. Richardson to the point for Stanton. And Weber, shot blocked off Jesus and out. Now Cassian, and here's a break for Richardson. Booth to the net, and the puck didn't arrive. And Booth takes down Crawford. Penalty upcoming against Vancouver. It'll be dropped by Saad. A swivel by Keith on the backhand in front. Still loose. Shaw, stop, rebound. And Shaw buried in front by David Booth. Chicago maintains possession, and now the puck is played by Richardson. And the penalty, goaltender interference, I believe, against David Booth.
Yeah, you're right, CC. As
Vancouver, number 7, minor penalty for goaltender interference.
as Booth is driving the net on the abbreviated 2-on-1, you see Crawford standing right on the blue paint, and Booth runs into him. The puck turns around, and you see a little bit of Duncan Keith skating on display here as he spins around Yannick Weber, and then in the chaos that ensues, finally Vancouver touches the puck, and the Hawks will look to get back in the game with their power play.
Face-off win by Taves. A shot by Sharp, partially blocked by Kessler. And Chicago will regroup it. There's Taves, good pass. Kane across. Sharp up top for Keith. First full power play for Chicago tonight. Kane in front, and Kessler gets a stick on it. Taves got it back. Keith at the line, watched by Higgins. Gets it again from Taves. The captain down low for Kane. Working it up high, across, and a good stick there by Kessler. Across it goes to Kane again. Taves. Duncan Keith. Patrick Sharp for Keith in the middle. Kessler denies the shooting lane. Keith again. Kane back. There's the shot. Shaw couldn't reach it. Taves off the boards in the backhand. Slides back into Chicago ice.
Really good puck movement by the Blackhawks. A good block shot by Kessler. And some nice boxing out around the front of the net. That's a good minute that the Canucks penalty killers have to put in against the Hawks' first group.
Fifth best power play in the league. Up against the third best penalty kill. Leddy, Seabrook. Brandon Saad across for Stieg, backdoor, scores, and it's a beauty for Marian Hossa.
Well, that's their second power play group, Chris. What puck movement. They all touch the puck as they get into the zone. David Booth's goaltender interference penalty proves costly. There's no chance for Luongo here. Leddy, Seabrook, Saad, cross seam for Stieg, saucer pass, Hossa, good night. Beautiful puck movement. The Canucks penalty killers just can't catch up to that smooth a puck movement. You see Richardson and Edler commit on the sidewall, and as they get too close to Saad on the sideboards, his pass is perfect over to Versteeg. Versteeg's got time then to settle it down and find Marian Hossa, and his 23rd makes this a 2-1 game.
19th shot of the game for Chicago is the breakthrough for the Hawks, and they're back within one. 39th power play goal of the year for the Blackhawks. And now that fourth line out to try and maintain the momentum for Chicago. That was off the back of Daniel Sedin. Here's Ben Smith. Checked by Ryan Stanton. In after it was Bollig. It'll be held in by Hjalmarsson. Bollig shot blocked. He'll get it again. Reloads and off a skate into the corner. Off Weber. Kruger back to the point. Here's another shot. Oh, that looked like it cut Bollig in front, or just missed him. There may have been a better line on that. Ray, did that go off Bollig's helmet?
Yeah, and he dodged away out. He was pretty lucky. He didn't see it till the end, and the puck jumped up on him.
Johnny Aduya down the left flank. Can't roll it past him. Hughes, but gets it back. Look out. Kessler runs him over, and away goes Hansen. Here's a 2-on-1. Hansen across, and Bieksa jumped up, but the pass didn't arrive. Kessler in front, and he's taken down. What a hit by Ryan Kessler that started the rush the other way. And now it's past Hamhuis. Here's Hossa. Sharp catching up. Sharp back, and it's broken up there by Bieksa. And a counter by Vancouver. Fire wagon hockey here. Over the line. Bieksa can't handle the pass. Hopped on him on that pass from Kessler, who started that frantic action with a big hit.
Oduya had no idea that Kessler was behind him. He turned around and he got throttled.
Versteeg fans on it. He's checked. Booth brings Cassian. Away goes Zach Cassian. Brookbank trying to stay with him. Swooping in is Cassian. Back to Garrison. Stick shatters. Puck kept in. Cassian, another shot doesn't get through. And now out to Versteeg at center. Versteeg hit along the boards by Richardson. Another good game. Chicago may not be at their best, but they're usually fun to watch, and looks like the Canucks have raised their game to play their old rivals tonight. Brandon Peary's over the line. Versteeg sends it around, and there's Alex Edler. Rink wide, too far for Dalpe, and it slides wide of the net. No icing, and out comes Leddy for Peary. Brandon Peary sends it to the far side. Weiss has trouble with it. Saad's got it. Nick Leddy, left point. Michael Handzus in behind the net, out of the reach of Saad. Brookbank steps up. Hit by Weiss. Chop to Handzus behind the net. Michael Handzus from the corner. To Brookbank. Shot, scores! Brookbank took the shot. I believe Saad on the redirect, and the game is tied.
Joel Quenneville was telling us yesterday how important Brandon Saad is to this Blackhawk team. Whatever line he puts them on, he gives them a little extra kick. He likes keeping them in the bottom six because it's a tough matchup. Saad is way out at the point, and when the Canucks can't get to the puck first, Handzus holds it to Sheldon Brookbank. Brookbank shoots it, and there's the tip by Saad. Shaw provides the traffic in front, and Saad, who was a couple of seconds ago out at the blue line, works his way closer to the net. He deflects the Brookbank shot, and he's got 16, and the game suddenly is tied.
Brandon Saad, who was in the conversation for the U.S. Olympic team at the age of 21, Pittsburgh native, with the tip on that shot by Brookbank, and 2 goals in 3 minutes and 9 seconds. They have the Hawks back on even terms. They came back from 2 down last night to salvage at least a point against the Calgary Flames. So 9:39, the time of the equalizer, and again the fourth line for Joel Quenneville back out after the goal. Molik, Kruger, and Smith. Alex Edler, an outlet on that left wing, too far for Daniel. Oduya just swung it out to center. And there's Edler. Off Burrows into Chicago ice. Burrows in on the forecheck, ties up his man, causes the giveaway. Schrader back to Edler. Edler with the shot that Karam's wide of the net. Ben Smith at the red line, he'll drop it in. Head to the bench on a Chicago change. Under 9.5 left, second period. Another tight fit between these two teams. Last time they met, it was Vancouver erasing a 2-0 lead. Here's a centering pass, scores! And just like that, the Hawks lead on a goal by the captain, Jonathan Toews.
Chris, we've talked about Brent Seabrook most of the night, and his presence up the ice has created mismatches for the Canucks defensively. Seabrook again jumps up, and it's a 3-on-2. Hossa starts the play, and when Sharp has the puck, look, he's going across. That's Seabrook. Seabrook gets there first. The Canucks get caught puck watching. BX is looking at the puck, and he doesn't get to Jonathan Toews' stick. Oh, it's a bit of a lucky break for Chicago. That puck's going behind the net. It hits the skate of the Canuck player below the goal line, bounces right on Toews' stick. That's his third in 16 games. And the Hawks in 5 minutes have erased a 2-0 lead.
2 in 68 seconds for Chicago. Here's a chance for Higgins, a couple of whacks. And Corey Crawford holds on. 3 goals in 4:17. And Chicago erases a 2-0 lead and are up by 1.
Here's another look at that goal again. Watch the pass from Seabrook hits Jannik Hansen's foot below the goal line. It ricochets from his foot right onto the tape of Jonathan Toews, and the captain makes no mistake. Another one of the Blackhawks who's been in a bit of a ditch. Toews jumps out with his 3rd goal in 16 nights.
Ray, you mentioned the Opers in the Vancouver lineup. Saad ties it first in 12 games, and Toews with the go-ahead goal, his first in 8.
How about Ben Scriven?
Well, you mentioned it to Eddie Lack on the bench there, and used the S word, and you were reprimanded, my friend.
Yeah, the goalies union does stick up for each other. He said, you can't call it a shutout yet. Got to finish it off.
Oh, we got a power play upcoming for the Canucks. Slashing call, and Nick Hjalmarsson is going to sit down for 2 or less.
Chicago, number 4, minor penalty for slashing.
Well, after the game turned in 5 minutes on David Booth's goaltender interference penalty, a power play goal, and then 2 quick ones, Hjalmarsson opens the door here as he slashes Booth's stick. And now the Canucks could dearly use something from their power play, trailing 3-2.
And they bump an 0-for-16 drought with Kessler, Daniel Sedin, Alex Burrows, Alex Edler, Yannick Weber. Face-off win, Weber shot, and a blocker stopped by Corey Crawford. Loose puck for Seabrook, and he'll send it 200 feet.
Chicago penalty, number 4, Nicholas Johnson. 2 minutes for slashing.
Edler at the wheel. Up ahead, Kessler. Keith chops him down, and it's an offside at the Chicago line. The NHL on TSN is brought to you by Asante. From investment, tax, and estate planning to retirement, Asante Wealth Management provides complete financial advice. Michael Handzus now out in a penalty-killing role for Chicago. Daniel Sedin along the boards, surrounded by Hawks as Kruger does some good work but can't get it out. Daniel Sedin saves it. Alex Burrows shoots it, and a stop by Crawford. Back to the point. Weber to Edler. Near side, Daniel. Edler's in the middle. Weber fires right on. Rebound to Seabrook, and he'll clear.
Good puck movement by the Canucks. They get it to the right shot of Weber, what they want to do. However, the puck moves quicker than the man in front of the net, and Crawford was able to get a good look at it. He was able to chest it aside.
Schrader, Cassian, Higgins now, second unit. Trying to answer the power play goal by Chicago's second unit, but it's Aduya firing it down the ice. 7:07 left here in the second. And 40 seconds of power play time still available as Garrison wraps it in. Off Cassian, who gets it back. Hamhuis shot through, and a stop by Crawford. Now Cassian in a race for the puck against Aduya, who chops it away and back down. Likely the final rush of the power play for Vancouver, and at the line they're offside.
Well, a couple of longer range shots for the Canucks, who have just been anchored by this power play for the last little while. Certainly doesn't help with Henrik Sedin out of the lineup. but they've not found the right formula yet. No matter who they try on this power play, whether it's John Tortorella or Mike Sullivan behind the bench, there's been no answer so far.
A little fencing going on between Booth and Seabrook. Hansen on the near side gets it to Booth. Swings away from Seabrook. In deep as the penalty comes to an end, and Chalmerson returns. 4 shots on the power play for Vancouver, but they do not get the tying goal. Brandon Saad's in. Far side where Kane's after it against Hansen. Gets it to Keith. And the Hawks in the midst of a change. Unable to come up with that puck, but Keith will get it back. You heard them yell for too many. There was some traffic around that bench. Taves is in. Sharp the drop. Sharp the shot. Sharp the goal. And the Hawks have a 4-2 lead.
Mike Sullivan is yelling at the official. That's the second time that the Blackhawks have had too many men on the ice. Nobody touched the puck. Nobody interfered with the play. Sometimes it just looks like there's too many men because it's a train wreck in front of the bench. Look at this. The puck doesn't touch anybody. By the time the puck is touched, one of the Blackhawks is already in the bench. Keith gets back and intercepts the puck. But Vancouver's got plenty of time defensively to get back into the play. Taves to Sharp. And now Taves drives off the defense. Bieksa goes for the block. This is a perfect shot by Patrick Sharp. Over the left pad, under the glove, and it's 4-2 Chicago.
Nothing new about that. The sharpshooter has 28 on the year, and it's now 4 goals in 7:41 here in this second period for Chicago. So we'll step out as the momentum takes a dramatic shift in the second period on TSN Wednesday Night Hockey.
At the end of November, Joel Quenneville's Blackhawks were 24-4. Since then, they've been 12-6-8. They haven't been sharp. Here, they get a little lucky. 2 Blackhawks are going off the ice. There's actually only 4 of them on the ice. As the Canucks are yelling for a too many men on the ice penalty, there's really only 4 to start the play. And then Taves finds Sharp. Sharp's got room to shoot it. It's a perfect shot, as we mentioned earlier, that beats Luongo.
Amazing how it can turn here. 4 goals, 7 minutes, 41 seconds. Luongo stops the first 18 of the night. Chicago has scored on 4 of their last 5 shots. Burrows takes a hit from Bollig. Here's Weber moving in. That pass off of Duya, and the Hawks will clear it. After it's Brandon Pirri.
Sorry, Chris, these next 5 minutes are everything to this game for Vancouver.
That grazed the mask of Luongo. That hot shot off the left wing. We'll have to take another look at that.
That clipped him upside, and he's had a couple of awkward stops tonight.
He's had the one off the shoulder. Had a post and a crossbar in the first period when it looked like things were going to go his way. And take another look at that shot when we get an opportunity. Here's Pirri back in with Kane. Drops. Kane shot. And Luongo's got that. Squeezes the 7-hole to make sure that doesn't leak through.
Difficult save on Kane. It's the early one from the sharp angle. Pirri just unloads it, and you see it zing off the right ear of Luongo. Here's the 2-on-1 again. Pirri to Kane, and you're right, Chris. He's got to squeeze that with the right arm as it almost sneaks through.
Kane with goals in each of his last 2 games after going 11 without. And an icing call against Vancouver.
Well, the Blackhawks have to be happy with the way that this middle portion of the period has gone. They've stayed with the game even after the Versteeg turnover led to Tom Sestito making the game 2-0. They've stayed with it, and now you've started to see a little bit of their depth offensively. Quite a difference for a team that struggles to score in Vancouver to one that doesn't in Chicago. They got 6 players with at least 14 goals. The number 1 rated offense in the league at 3.5 goals a game. They're up to 4 here already.
Give away by Versteeg. Cassian's in with Richardson. Shot right on, and Crawford will hold on to that. So it's a 2-goal Hawk lead. 4:13 left, second period in Vancouver. Our player profile brought to you by Asante, providing complete financial advice. It's Dan Hamhuis, headed to the Olympic Games. The
His
pride
play-
of Smithers, BC.
Oh yeah, very, very proud of him in Smithers. There were lots of stories about when he was selected to the Olympic team that everybody was just so happy for him. Played for Team Canada, as you see, 5 times at the World Championships, and its play over there gave him maybe more of an inside edge than people might have thought, as he's been really a stalwart for them at the World Championships.
Ray's been a real workhorse in 15 of the last 17 games. He's played over 25 minutes in 4 of those games, over 30 minutes. But the last 2 games, he's been just around the 20-minute mark, so maybe trying to dial him back a little bit, maybe overextending Dan Hamhuis.
I think that's the case with a number of players here in Vancouver. They rely a lot on very few players. And I think the minutes start to take their toll. Whether the coaches deny it or not, you just only have so much gas in the tank.
Keith's shot knocked down. He was looking for that slap pass at the side of the net, and it was broken up by Garrison. So under 4 left in this second period, where the ice has tilted back in Chicago's favor, and Hossa nearly took the head off Luongo there. Turning into a rough night for the Vancouver goaltender. Good collision there. Shaw with a hit on Hansen. Aduya over the red line and break back in. Garrison breaks his man along the board. Shaw works, and it's kept in by Chalmerson momentarily. Hansen will scoop it out, and there's Chalmerson to retake it for Chicago. Saad is checked. Hansen with the takeaway, and now to the attack. Dalby off the bench. Hansen tips it wide, and the net knocked off. Will halt play with under 3 to go here in the second. And let's check back in with James Duthie. That is remarkable, isn't it? And even you couldn't derail him tonight.
Oh, after you brought that up, I'm like, if he doesn't get a shutout now, people are going to blame, I'm not even in the same city. What an unbelievable performance. He'll not forget that. Congratulations on a just unbelievable night. Oh my gosh.
And 59 shots against any team, but that San Jose Shark team, they're not bad. Wow. The face-off won by the Canucks in the Chicago zone. Need one to get within one here in the late stages of the second period. Sestito's got a goal in the game. He's on the ice, but Kruger intercepts the pass up for Bollig. Long-range shot kicked away by Luongo. Weber with a quick counter up to Weiss, and just missed Sestito with that touch pass. Brookbank will reboot here. Sestito trying to take a run at Leddy, and Brandon Peary neatly to Kane. Dropped for Stig. Shot, rebound, and sent to the line. Leddy fired it back in. That was cut off by Bieksa. Nearly gave it away, but it does come out. And Cassian's away. Zach Cassian. Hamhuis rolls it wide. Back it goes. Bieksa fired it. And it ends up in the corner. Been off Kane and out. Hamhuis will rim it back in. Nice play by Cassian. Here's Daniel walking in. Centers. Cassian shot it wide. What a chance on a nice play by Daniel. Cassian puts it back in front. Off a skate. Back to Cassian again. Kevin Bieksa. Doesn't get through. It was knocked down en route by Nick Leddy, and now the Hawks at center. Rolled ahead for Patrick Sharp. Knocked off balance there as Bieksa's stick got caught. And Schrader will take over. Back for Bieksa. Hamhuis up at center ice. That's knocked down. Handzus right back in. Fires that high. Taves collects it. Takes a look, circles away from Daniel, then gets knocked off the puck by Schrader. Into the final minute of this second period. A big one for the Hawks. Taves with Hanzus, and now Seabrook's got it. Behind the net for Taves, who has one of the 4 Hawk goals in the period. Hossa off the post. Hanzus, Seabrook, shot. Stopped by Luongo, rebound, Keith. Another Luongo stop. So both defensemen, Keith and Seabrook, testing Luongo there. And an icing call against Vancouver.
Well, the Canucks looked like they were gassed at the tail end of that as they were all straight-legged as that Hawks top line zipped the puck around. Hossa rang one off the goalpost. And now Mike Sullivan will use his timeout here with 26 seconds left in this second period. As we talked about, with about 5 minutes left in the period, how imperative it is that the Canucks get out of this period, at the very least, in the position they are now.
Well, don't miss Super Bowl Sunday on CTV, featuring a halftime performance by Bruno Mars. It all starts Sunday, 2 Eastern, 11 Pacific on CTV, and it's followed by an all-new MasterChef Canada. Last night, Ray Ferraro told you it will be Denver.
Everybody warms up a little bit differently here, Chris, and we know that soccer game that the players play. Well, Patrick Kane plays a little bit of wide receiver as the Blackhawks strength coach fires a couple of pass patterns to him. He zips ones back to him, and
Little Wes Welker.
I think Wilker's probably bigger than Kane too.
Face-off win by the Hawks. 20 seconds to go in the period. Shaw got it to the net, and Luongo pounces on that. 17th shot of the period for Chicago, 13 for Vancouver, and we have 5 goals in this middle frame. Final game before the Olympic break for the Canucks at home. And then a 5-game road trip, which will see them swing through Winnipeg, Detroit, Boston, Montreal, and Toronto. Another icing call. And 10.9 seconds left for Joel Quenneville's crew. Trying to enhance this lead. Shaw to take the draw. Up against Brad Richardson. Helmet to helmet. Dropped in and off the boards. Keane's got it. Chalmerson. One last shot towards the net. It knocked down en route. And that should do it. Big period, Chicago. 4 goals in a span of 7:41 after the Canucks had taken a 2-0 lead. 4-2 after 2. Here again, James Duthie.
By Vancouver 13, shots on goal through 2 periods by Chicago 30.
Well, Ray, you were talking about Vancouver needing to have a few guys bump slumps. Chicago's done that tonight, including Brandon Saad, who has caught your eye.
A player that just gives them so much depth. He's got good size at 6'1", 202 pounds. He won't be 22 until next October. And Joel Quenneville says when he's able to play Brandon Saad on their bottom 2 lines, he creates matchup problems for the opposition. He's an excellent skater, a very powerful player. Look at the pass he makes here. Crisp, right across the seam to Versteegen, then it's on Hossa's stick for the power play goal. And then here's the one where he gets off the schneid. It's been 12 games for Saad. He tips in Brookbank's shot, and one of the players that helped turn around a 2-0 deficit into a 4-2 lead going into the third period.
Stan Bowman made a strong pitch for him to make the U.S. Olympic team, and as we mentioned in the second period, was in the conversation, and probably the fact that he is only 21 was a deciding factor against him. You'd probably write him in for 4 years from now if NHLers take part.
Either that or he'll be in a World Cup. for the United States. Bowman also called him a young Marian Hossa, which is quite high praise for anyone that's played with Marian Hossa. They just speak so highly of everything Hossa does around the game. Saad off to an excellent start in his young career.
So can the Canucks rebound here in the third period? Chalmerson sends it in. There's Ben Smith behind the net. Again, Quenneville deploying the fourth line to start. Weber dumps it out to center ice. Vancouver's had problems in the third period of late. Here's Smith cutting in. Shot! And Luongo in the net. Knocked out. Luongo knocked down, the net knocked off, and play is halted.
Excellent shift to start the period. Ben Smith gets outside of Yannick Weber, and as he drives the net, Weber knocks Smith off the tracks, and then he ends up running into Roberto Luongo. Ben Smith, Brandon Bollig, Marcus Kruger, as we've talked several times tonight, have given the Blackhawks almost anything you could ask for from a fourth line. 18 goals combined on the season from their fourth line.
Canucks have been outscored 11-1 in the third period of the last 8 games. Need to break through here in the third period to mount a comeback against Chicago. Hossa sends it toward the net, and Jannik Hansen picks it off, but he looks up ice. Pass gets by Higgins, and it's an icing call that will bring the face-off back in the Vancouver zone. Here's one stat that favors Vancouver tonight, Ray. They've won 63% of the face-offs, which usually means you're in much better shape than down by 2.
Well, they're going to have everybody contribute something here in this third period. The Hawks, the end of back-to-back games, the loss, of course, last night in Calgary. There's a face-off they lose to Jonathan Toews, who's amongst the best in the National Hockey League. He beats Kessler on the draw, and Hossa rifles it at Luongo.
57.4% coming in, but he was 4 of 13 face-offs in the first 40 minutes. Kessler evens the score on the next draw, but the Hawks get it back off the skate of Sharp, and Kessler has it up for Hansen. And again, unable to get the puck to Higgins, and once again, it's an icing call on the face-off back in Vancouver ice.
Jannik Hansen's had the puck on his stick twice in this period, and he's iced it both times. This is the case of, because of the lack of depth Vancouver has, you've got Hansen playing on a line with Kessler and Higgins. He's got to be on more of a checking role. That's where Jannik Hansen plays. He's not a top 2-line player, and when you ask a player to do that for a long period of time, the results just aren't there.
Ryan Kessler 11-3 in the face-off circle through 40, and back-to-back wins on those last 2 draws in the Canuck zone. So now 14-5 for Kessler on the night. Offside called, and a sputtering start to this third period.
And the Hawks will be fine with this as they wedge off 90 seconds. Kessler looks a little frustrated as he comes back to the Canuck bench. And the reason, if you're a centerman, why you get so frustrated, you win 3 faceoffs, you end up with 2 icing calls and an offside. So you get control of the puck, you have to do something with it.
Now Vancouver moves into the Chicago zone. A shot knocked down by Peary off the stick of David Booth. Canucks need a spark. Booth's got the puck. Fires it in behind the net. Burrows in on the forecheck, and there's Versteeg off the boards. Pass Richardson, and it's a 2-on-1. It's Peary and Kane. Pass broken up, and Peary a backhand wide, and he got blasted by Kevin Bieksa. Back the other way. 3 Canucks through center. Booth check, but Richardson follows. Can't get the shot through against Brookbank. And Sheldon Brookbank will take over for the Hawks. Shaw took a whack at it, but the Canucks will hold the zone. Brookbank into the far corner. There's Weber moving up. Centers for Burrows. into the corner where he's pinned by Letty. Versteeg has Weber bearing down on him. And they get it out, and Shaw flips it in and chases past Hamhuis to get to the puck. Now Chicago in the midst of a change. The reserves come in, but it's an alley-oop pass out at center. And here's Daniel with a hot shot right on Corey Crawford, and he'll hold on.
It's Daniel Sedin's first shot of the evening here. In the last 2 games, he's had just 1 shot each. 2-on-1 previously. Peary wants to go across to Kane, and then really nicely defended here as Stanton takes away the pass, and you see Bieksa drill Peary as the puck is deflected away. Good back check from Richardson. He came back with a lot of momentum to try and take that pass away. That helps Stanton stay in the pass lane and deflect the pass away.
You mentioned the first shot of the game for Daniel Sedin. Without a goal in 13, his longest drought in 6 years. Longest of his career, 15 games, and that was 9 years ago. Ben Smith slides it through. Bollig unable to hook up with Kruger, but Bollig gets it back again. He's had 5 shots on goal tonight. Garrison away, and that pass for Cassian out of his reach, and once again, it's an icing call against Vancouver. The 2014 Scotties Tournament of Hearts is just around the corner. Live coverage from Montreal gets underway Saturday at 2 Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific on TSN. Hawks a remarkable 9-1-3 in the second of back-to-back games. Of course, losing last night in overtime in Calgary. Seabrook and Keith get it organized. Sharp stopped by Higgins. Seabrook off the glass. It'll be held in again. Hamhuis after a big hit by Kessler, and Seabrook get a shot right through on Corey Crawford. Now Sharp's out. He could have a break. Weber trying to catch up, and he cut him off at the pass. Good speed by Yannick Weber to recover. Now it's Hossa handing it off. Letty off the bench, fires it, and he whipped that one wide. Higgins the other way, has Hansen inside the line. Hansen on a glove stop. Corey Crawford flashes leather.
Chris, one of the few times the Canucks have been able to transition the puck quickly after Sharp is denied by Yannick Weber. An excellent effort by Weber. Letty's shot's going to go up over the net, and quickly this puck comes up to Jannik Hansen. That's a really good shot by Hansen. Quick release, and Corey Crawford has to fight it off and catch it just up above his shoulder.
Now Saad trying to bust through, and Shaw followed up, and that shot didn't miss by much. And Zeus, Saad, and Shaw on the ice for Chicago. There's David Booth with the puck for the Canucks. Up ahead, that gets past Burrows. And Letty will play it. Thought we might have another icing against the Canucks in this third period, but now Chicago advances. Brookbank plays it in, and Luongo out. Around for Bieksa. Brad Richardson, nice move and a good pass to Booth. Cutting in, and Chalmerson blocked the shot. Kane for Aduya. That pass picked off. Back in comes Vancouver. Daniel Sedin checked at the line by Versteeg. Stick got up on Versteeg, but play continues. Here is Bieksa moving in. Daniel, shot! And Cassian was looking for a tip, and Crawford made the save and steered it aside. Now it's Edler. Schrader. That one bounced away from Daniel. That's Chalmerson for work, and Peary found it. Got it to Keith, and he'll stride out. Too far for Kane. Up and around for Schrader. Drops it to center. Higgins, Cassian in. Shot! And it's kicked out again. Good stop by Crawford, as he's been tested a couple of times. here in the third. And at the line, the extra move by Kruger puts the play offside. At the other end, some sharp goaltending by Corey Crawford to maintain a 2-goal Chicago lead. Mike Sullivan down by 2 is 2-2 in his interim coaching stint with John Tortorella suspended, Ray.
One more game for Tortorella. 15 days will be up, and Sullivan, who after being fired as the head coach has been a long-time assistant alongside of John Tortorella, and they've all looked for answers, and there is just a difference as well. I mean, when the assistant coach takes over, and I mean, this is such an odd circumstance. It's just not the same. It's not the same look behind the bench. The bench doesn't get run exactly the same way. It's an odd time for the Canucks and for Mike Sullivan.
John Tortorella will be back at practice February the 2nd and returns behind the bench against the Detroit Red Wings on the 3rd of February. Second game of that 5-game road trip to close out the pre-Olympic schedule. And then he will be free.
We'll be in Winnipeg for that game Friday. And as you mentioned, Chris, 5 games takes them to the Olympic break, and then it's gonna. I just have a feeling there's going to be some wildness in the 10 days post-Olympic break. Start of the second part of the season, trade deadline right there. Going to be a lot of teams having to make decisions, and important decisions, in a hurry.
Pieksa ahead to the attack is Kassian, and he whipped that just wide. Cassian's had some jump here in the third period. Takes a little run at Seabrook. Hosa's pass for Taves is disrupted. Now Sharp will deflect it in, and Taves has some room from a bad angle. And he is caught behind the net by Ryan Stanton. Up for Daniel. He'll flip it in, and Schrader gives chase. Patrick Sharp kind of angled him away from the puck just enough. But now Daniel's on it. Daniel Sedin from a bad angle right on. Puck loose in front. 3 Hawks are there, and Hjalmarsson lugs it out. Off the boards, down, and that will trigger a wholesale change. And the Hawks have taken 7.5 minutes off the clock in the third. But Kessler to work. Trying to barge through with Hansen. In behind the net, Hansen knocked off the puck as Saad was there defensively. Up comes Shaw. Manzus after it. And Edler gets there first. Canucks led by 2 and now trying to rebound from 2 down after those 4 consecutive Chicago goals in period number 2. That puck flipped over the glass and out of play.
There has been a little bit of room in the middle of the ice here. Kassian a couple of times has had good chances from 30 feet. One old-fashioned stand-up kick save from Corey Crawford. He fired one wide, and then that last Kessler rush. As you see Joel Quenneville instructing Brandon Saad on the bench, they'll want that defense to stay up in the middle zone, not give so much room through the middle here, as Vancouver seems to have found a little bit of space in the last couple of shifts.
Quenneville sitting on 692 career wins. The next will put him 3rd alone all-time in the all-time coaching wins list, with only Scotty Bowman and Al Arbour ahead, currently tied with Dick Irvin Sr.
Those are Hall of Fame numbers.
Absolutely, and a penalty coming up as Richardson hauled down in front, and here's the opportunity for the Canucks. A power play midway through this third period.
Sometimes you have a sense of dread when you go back on the power play when it's so bad, and Vancouver has to find something positive out of this power play. There's Richardson, who's had an effective night again. Richardson draws the penalty on the rebound. So at the very least, Vancouver's got to have some setup time, some zone time, get pucks to the net, get a little traffic in front of Corey Crawford. They've had 3 or 4 good shifts in a row. They can't let that dissipate here on this power play.
Ryan Kessler wins the face-off, 7 power play goals. Weber fires it. Manzus with a block. It came through the blue paint. And Keith will clear.
2 minutes for tripping. Time of the penalty, 8:33. Letty for tripping.
Alex Edler at the wheel. Kessler winding up. To the line and over. And past Keith. What a move! In! Backhand stop! Loose puck! And it's jammed through and wide! Oh, Higgins with a chance of the rebound, and that must have hit a leg and ricocheted off target. Edler able to hold the zone. Daniel takes over. They came close. What a dash by Kessler. Down low, the jam, and that's stopped by Crawford. And off Taves and out. Right back in. Kessler with another shift on Hossa. Daniel moves it in. And that one deflecting up onto the netting. And out of play.
It looks like the last couple of shifts that Kessler wants to grab this on his back and see if he can make things happen. He walks Duncan Keith here. There's the first shot. And Jonathan Taves slides in the old-fashioned two-pad stack as he deflects away the shot by Higgins. It's Taves behind Crawford with the stop.
Thought it was Higgins initially. It might have been Alex Edler with that rebound opportunity. Vancouver up to 30 shots in the game, 31-30 in favor of Chicago. Cam Hughes to Burrows. Stick has gone out of the hands of Seabrook and pulled by Crawford to get a whistle, which turned out to be the right move for Chicago as Seabrook without a stick, although it looked like Crawford wanted to keep that puck in play. Ray, the shots in the third period, 9-1 Canucks. So there's been a push.
Now this is never the right formula if you're a Blackhawk to be back on your heels and defend the lead back in your own zone. Vancouver's found some energy here.
Schrader wins the drop. Cam Hughes across. The blast is blocked by Aduya, and that has him down and on the limp to the Hawk bench.
Garrison shoots the puck as hard as any defenseman in the league. That hits Oduya in the shin pads. It's still of no comfort to him.
Schrader can't control. Saad breaks it up, but now Ben Smith counters, and he gets draped along the boards. Garrison with the hit. In fact, a couple Canucks in there as Hamhuis also got a piece of Smith along the boards. Schrader gets it loose, and now they'll get pointed in the right direction in the dying seconds of the power play. They've had some chances, but running out of time with the man advantage. Duncan Keith sidesteps the hit from Cassian, and Letty is back. 2 shots, a couple of looks for the power play, but it remains a 2-shot game. Stanton rink wide. Richardson after it against Letty. They jostle along the boards. Company arrives. Puck is loose, and Sharp is out. Knocked away by Stanton. Richardson sends it back in. Canucks invade Chicago ice. Richardson after it. Kane, great outlet, and away goes Taves. Taves over the line with Sharp. Patrick Sharp from a bad angle, and Luongo stopped that. Richardson out, and Kevin Bieksa now winds it up. A couple of goals against Phoenix to double his output for the year. Sent it in, and now Seabrook starts. Wraps it in. Shaw goes after it. Takes his man to the boards. Hossa picks it up. Separated from the puck by Kessler. A giveaway. Seabrook shot, and he fired that high glove side. And it goes out of play with 8:07 remaining in the third period. Big hits here in the third. Canucks with the push, but still trail by 2. The performer of the game is brought to you by GMC Sierra.
Back in the first period, we mentioned you always get a little juice when you come home. Doesn't matter how many times you've been here. Brent Seabrook has played a fantastic game for the Blackhawks. He's been up the ice several times. He's been really strong defensively. He had the assist on Jonathan Taves' goal, along with Duncan Keith, has played big minutes again. Your GMC performer of the game is Brent Seabrook.
Seabrook a plus 22 on the year, on pace for 50 points. And number 7 back in his own zone, tied up by Daniel. Following up is Schrader, trying to tuck it in front, and Andrew Shaw is there. And away goes Saad, trying to beat Stanton, who knocks him off stride. Saad neatly comes up with the puck behind the net. And then cycles it back for Jesus. To the front of the net in the skates of Shaw. And Stanton up with it, now a giveaway, and the Hawks get it back. Oduya fires it right on. Zach Kassian around to the near side. And Daniel up ahead. Jordan Schrader, rink wide. Shaw got a stick in the passing lane. Chalmerson knifes it ahead. Here's Shaw, and he'll drop it in. Took a hit from Kessler, and heads off. Clock winding down on the Canucks to 7 minutes remaining. And there's a pass blocked in front, loose, and knocked just wide. Close call there. That fourth line out, wreaking havoc again. Kruger, Smith, and Bollig. Mentioned last night in Calgary, Brandon Bollig once just a tough guy when he called up, but become a regular. There's another shot that slides wide of the target.
For Bollig, this is becoming a regular occurrence. Another game up over 10 minutes for the fourth line. This is 12 straight games they've done this.
And look where the puck is for the entire shift. Kruger will cycle it back. Smith tied up with him. He was behind the net. Bieksa in to help out. And they got a change, and that fourth line's done its job. Taking time off the clock. Turnover, sharp shot, kicked out by Luongo. And now, 6 minutes left. Shots were 10-2 in the third period. But now the Hawks up to 7 and 37 for the game. Hossa neatly around Edler, but Edler recovers, comes up with it, and he's got a loose man. It's Hansen trying to barge in, and Leddy makes the defensive play. Hansen off the boards, around Hossa, but has to take a detour back at center. Now feeds it ahead, Richardson to Booth. David Booth wraps it in. Hansen goes after it, gets there ahead of Leddy. Into the corner for Richardson. Booth's out in front, and now he grabs it in behind the net. Feeds the point. Edler across. Here comes the shot, and that's off Leddy's stick. Kane had some trouble with it, gives it up. But the Hawks follow up and get it out. Peary, Versteeg, and Kane charging in, and Edler off the boards. And up to Kassian. Sidesteps Kane. Schrader inside the zone. Kassian, shot right on, and the rebound batted out of midair neatly by Crawford. Rolled down the ice, and Weber retreats. Not many whistles here in the third. Up for Daniel Sedin. Chalmerson gloved it, and now gloved back into the corner by Stanton. And it was played by Schrader, so a hand pass will halt play. That 4-goal splurge in the second period continues to stand up for Chicago. 4:23 left in the third. And our GMC performer of the game, Brent Seabrook. And there are some of his numbers.
The Canucks got off to that great start on Higgins' goal at the 16-second mark of the first period, but it's the second period where the game got away from Vancouver a little bit. Up 2-0, a goalie interference penalty to David Booth, and in the next 5 minutes, the Canucks' 2-0 lead was a 3-2 deficit.
Best performance by Joel Quenneville's team in a little bit of time, trying to bump a 4-game losing streak. After impressive victories against two of the big teams in the league, Boston and Anaheim. Almost seems like the Hawks are in that mode where They only respond against the big teams or a rival team like these Vancouver Canucks.
Such a mental game here, Chris, towards the Olympic break. Half the guys are going to the Olympic team, half the guys are going on vacation, and you can tell the focus for a team like Chicago just hasn't been there.
Kruger with a pass in front that ricocheted right on goal.
This line 2 nights in a row, Chris, has just been terrific for Chicago.
Four-line attack, you talked about it from the start.
They feel they can keep the pace high when they get all 4 lines going. That's a problem for Vancouver. They don't have 4 lines. They don't have the confidence to use 12 forwards.
Taves out at center, trying to chip it past Edler, who recovers. Zach Cassian's been as good a Canuck as we've seen in the third period. He's out on the ice, and a good pass for Daniel Sedin. Curling inside the line, sent it across out of the reach of Schrader. Edler gets there. Duncan Keith intercepts. Short pass to Taves, and it's out.
Good point on Cassian. I think we've seen more and more frequent glimpses of the player the Canucks hope he's going to become. He's been more consistent, more involved.
Here's Peary, a shot, the rebound for Stig, and it hit the pipe and stayed out. There was a glittering chance for Chicago, and somehow it stayed out on that glorious chance for Chris Versteeg, looking for goal number 100 in his NHL career. Sitting on 99. Back in he comes. And that's out of the reach of Kane. Richardson up for Weber to the attack. Blocked by Keith. Now Seabrook. Versteeg to the red line. He'll bounce it in.
They're trying to get Luongo's attention here. He's coming to the bench, Chris.
He's gone to the bench. Extra attacker with 2:02 left on the clock. And over the boards comes Kessler. In behind the net. Burrows retrieves it in the corner. Fires it across. Cam Hughes now. Bieksa fires it, and that blasted inches wide. Richardson tried to swivel it to the point. That one broken up. Burrows knocked off stride. Bieksa scrapes down and gets by him. And an empty net there for Handzus. And a penalty will be called against Vancouver. Scotiabank Wednesday Night Hockey on TSN is brought to you by Scotiabank. You're richer than you think. And Chicago and Vancouver, it wouldn't be a complete game without one of these debates. As everybody gathers in the corner.
Probably not surprisingly, Andrew Shaw and Kessler are in the middle of it. Kessler has picked up at least a minor penalty as he's headed to the dressing room, and as is Andrew Shaw for the Blackhawks. But the slash on Brad Richardson was the initial penalty.
So Richardson off. And with the minute 34 to go, it's the Hawks with a 2-goal lead and a man advantage.
Mike Sullivan just told his team they're going to take the goalie out on the way down the ice. So if they can win this draw, Luongo will follow the Canucks out of the zone and they'll make it a 5-on-5. Although they'll still be technically shorthanded.
Joe Quenneville has 2 defensemen out. He often has Sharp at the point, 4 forwards and a defenseman on the power play, but not with a 2-goal lead. Keith and Seabrook together. Well, we might just see them fire the puck around and have a passing drill here. Take some time off the clock. Hosa's got it. Now Sharp takes over. Dave back out. They'll play the corners here and play keep away. Sharp to the net in front, and Taves put it high, stayed in play, and now it's shoveled ahead. And does Luongo lead now? They get to the red line. Luongo stays in. Now he leads. Schrader curls. There's a shot right on. And Seabrook gathers the rebound. Out to Sharp, empty net. As it's deflected down the ice in the final minute of regulation time. Hossa in the corner. Here's a chance, and Saad buries it into the empty net. 5-2 Hawks. Second of the night for Brandon Saad.
Stan Bowman says he's a young Hossa. Well, he took a pass from old Hossa as Taves gets in the corner and disrupts the play from Ham Hughes. Hossa finds Saad coming off the bench, and the Blackhawks have scored 5 straight. 2 by Brandon Saad, and with 37 seconds left, they'll take this one home. A trip to Vegas in the offing here for the Blackhawks as they continue a long road trip. They go for a couple of days there before they head into California for that Murderers Row road trip everybody dreads. Los Angeles, San Jose, Anaheim.
That Vegas trip will be a motivator in the game beforehand. To make sure there's no last-minute decision to cancel that. Saad from Hossa, 1922. And an icing call brings the face-off back.
Well, much like in Edmonton, some fan just tossed his jersey on the ice that was quickly scooped up by Brad Richardson and handed to the training staff.
Well, that happened in Edmonton and caused quite a reaction. We'll wonder if it will cause the same ripple effect here in Vancouver. A 5-2 Chicago win tonight, their 15th road win of the year. And the Hawks move back into first place in the Central Division. And the January woes for the Vancouver Canucks continue. They led 2-0 in this one, but the Hawks had 5 straight goals to win on a night they honor the Olympians. Final game before the Olympics at home for Vancouver. A 5-game road swing upcoming. Once again, the final score, 5-2 Chicago. So long, SportsCenter is now